There is new fallout from the shocking accusations facing a major National Women's Soccer League coach. The former players accusing Paul Riley of sexual coercion. Mana Shim and Sinead Farrelly spoke out this morning on the Today Show, calling on the league to do something about the allegations.
He's a predator. He sexually harassed me. He sexually coerced Sinead. And he took away our careers. It's so prevalent. It's not just this team. It's not just this coach. It's across the league. It's across the sport, and we have to do something about it.
We get more on this now from former pro soccer player Ciara McCormack, who's kind enough to join us all the way from Thailand, where it's bright and early in the morning. Ciara, thank you very much for the time. I saw where you wrote the article in The Guardian and how this situation here in the States triggered what you went through, which, as I understand it, you and your teammates had tried on 30 different occasions to report your own stories of abuse. What happened?
Yeah, we had a situation where our coach was essentially the gatekeeper that decided who was going to make the Canadian women's national team, and just similar sort of situation to what the players, Mana and Sinead, were saying, where, he had a lot of power. And basically the Canadian women's national team, the Canada Soccer and the Whitecaps, the coaches that are where he coached, they basically fired him for sexual misconduct after an investigation. And then they announced it to the public as a mutual parting of ways. And so, for the next 11 years, myself and my teammates tried through many different avenues to try to get the story out, and watched as he went back on the field coaching teenage girls. And then I sort of had enough by 2019 and wrote a blog and just exposed the whole story.
Right. And what happened after that? Did he face charges, didn't he?
So immediately the day after, he was suspended from his club, and then the story just kind of started to snowball a little bit. And then there was actually fan protests at the MLS at the Whitecaps games, just because the handling of the organization was so poor. And then December 2020, it ended up he got charged with 9 sex crimes, 4 victims over 20 years. And one of the charges was from 2008, when he had been fired for sexual misconduct.
A big thing that you wrote about was the fact that the fans, this protest that you talked about, they actually walked out of the games, right?
Yeah, it was incredible. And I think, again, watching Mana and Sinead's story, I think I'm so happy for them, because I know for me and for the other players that were involved, it was so healing when finally, because it was like being gaslit for 11 years, where this is such a serious situation, but nobody's doing anything. So, not only to have the support in general from the public, but then this massive showing where fans were walking out of the games at the 35th minute and organized it in a show of support. And they did that for 3 games. So it was pretty incredible and pretty healing.
Ciara, something you wrote really caught my eye. You said this could be anybody's daughter or niece or friend's daughter. Tell me more about how this, in your words, triggered you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reality of it. There's so many children playing sports, and, they're all innocent and vulnerable, and these coaches have so much power. And so, I know for me, I have, friends with children, I have, little nieces, and I just felt like, we have to change things. And the only way it's going to happen is to start speaking out about it. And, I think for a long time, I felt like I was a troublemaker, because I was the one that was even speaking up as the situation was unfolding. But now it's kind of, I think all of us speaking up are kind of on the right side of history. And I think all of our motivations is just to make sure that, all the little kids coming up don't ever have to go through the kinds of things that we went through.
What do we do about it, Ciara? I mean, we see all of this, and it's happening at the highest levels. How do they change this?
I think the first step, to be honest, is just awareness. I think, I know the Larry Nassar thing, I think helped a lot in the sense that, just people realizing that this stuff is going on at the highest level. So I think that awareness is really important. I think education of athletes and parents as to the kinds of environment, because I think there's a lot of abuse that's not just sexual abuse, but, verbal abuse and the kinds of things that really impact people in a negative way for a long time. And so I just think that awareness is very important. And then I just think also having a safe place to report. that's outside of these organizations because, you know, they want to control the narrative. They don't want to be legally liable. So I really think that that's a super important part of it. And then an investigation after the fact, if something does come out where it is impartial. And I think it's really encouraging that U.S. Soccer have, I believe, hired a former attorney general who from just speaking to people, sounds very credible. And so that's super important too, just because obviously you want to know what happened. And I think there just needs to be a focus on enablers because a lot of these organizations, you know, find out about these situations and turn a blind eye and allow these people back in. And you know, they should be held to account for those sorts of decisions because it really does put athletes in harm.
The other thing that stands out to me, Ciara, is that it sounds like a lot of the players and a lot of the victims in these cases are not really sure about what's going on. Is this really happening? Is this right? Is this wrong? And then when they do come to terms with it, as you did, and you tell someone about it, it doesn't seem like anyone listens.
Yeah, and to be honest, just from going through my own experience, I think that I never really quite understood the trauma that caused, you know, because I think you kind of start to think you're crazy, you know, for our situation. It's like, you know, he's been fired for sexual misconduct, you know, the kinds of harm that he was accused of. And then you see the person back out there and then you're trying to say something and no one's taking you seriously. And there's a lot of, you know, a lot of trauma in that silencing. So, yeah, I really, really think it's important that we eradicate that kind of thing happening after people are brave enough to come forward because it's not easy to come forward.
Right. And it's important, I think, for us to continue to shine a spotlight on it. And Ciara McCormack, I know, as I said, it's early in the morning in Thailand. We appreciate you joining us to do just that. Thanks for the time.
Thanks so much for having me.